In this lesson titled Page Break Preview, we're in Workbook Lesson 06, Prep for Printing, and we're on Worksheet tab, Page Break Preview. As mentioned in a previous lesson called Page Layout View, we pointed out that working with an Excel worksheet is quite different than a Microsoft Word document. In Microsoft Word, by default, each page that you work on is the same size as the screen you're working on. So when you go to print, you pretty much know what you're going to get on each sheet. That's very different in Excel because, as mentioned earlier, there's over 16,000 columns and over 1 million rows, and we have to figure out how we want that to be represented on a standard sheet of paper. In this lesson, Page Break Preview, we're going to look at that feature called Page Break Preview. We have 3 small icons at the very bottom right, and they're Normal and Page Layout and Page Break Preview. We're going to click on Page Break Preview. This gives us a very different view of Excel that maybe we're not used to seeing. So let's point out a few things. First of all, we see a watermark that tells us the page number we're on. This is page 1, and all the way over here is page 18 and then page 35. It's because these numbers go down and then back up again. So page 1, and you see page 2, and we get to the bottom of that section of columns, and then the columns that couldn't fit now start over again up here, and then those columns that can't fit, then they come over here. So the next thing you'll notice is this dotted line, and this dotted line represents the page break. So if I go to Print Page Preview, you'll see that it's going to cut off right here on compensation. So let's do that now. I'm going to go to File and Print, and I see it cuts off at composition right here. So let's go back again with this back arrow, or you can hit Escape on your keyboard. So if I wanted to change that, if I wanted all of these columns up to comp rating to be included, I could simply move this blue dotted line over. This blue dotted line represents where the page break is going left and right. Let me zoom in a little. I'm going to zoom in and scroll over and scroll up so we can see this a little bit better. So I want my page break to be here. If I just hold my mouse over that, you'll see a double arrow. So here is the regular thick plus, and there's the double arrow. And so I can click and drag that over. And now the page break is here. So let's take a look at that. We're going to go to File and Print. And now my compensation rating is now included in the page. So this is an extremely useful tool to just simply grab and move these page breaks. The same is true for how long this page is going to be. So if I was to add a few more rows, because we said we just need to make all of the B's. So there's quite a few B's, and let's see what happens if we try to get all the B names in. So we go to row 75, and we'll go to File and Print to see our preview, and we can see it was able to do it, but do you see what it had to do? It had to shrink the size of the text considerably in order to put on 75 rows. Now, when it shrunk the size of the text, it also made a lot more room for columns available because the text was so much smaller. So just keep that in mind. Let's go back again. Now, I might not remember where the normal break is, and so the way you want to do that is you can simply go to Page Layout, then come over here to where it says Breaks, right click, and you can say Reset All Page Breaks. That'll put you back to where you were normally, and then once again I can bring over the column. So that's a brief description of our Page Break Preview. Just remember when you're all done to go back to your normal view if you're ready to edit some more in your document.